Hello, welcome back to another series of the Halacha Time. I'd like to discuss today the question of whether we have to pray in Hebrew or not. Hebrew we call Lashon HaKodesh. That means the holy language. It's the language with which we were given our Torah. It's the language with which we're told that the whole world was created. It's also the language with which the Anshe Knesset HaGadola, those are the great rabbis of the past, who wrote down the prayers for us. It's the language that they wrote the prayers in. The Hebrew language, Lashon HaKodesh, is really a holy language. It's full of hidden meanings. It's full of things that you can't see on the outside that are hidden inside the words. There are tremendous and beautiful explanations of all sorts of things that are connected with the Jewish language and the way that it's written and the words that are said. They all have meanings. Everything has a meaning. Right? We call a dog a kelev. A kelev comes from kol lev. As anyone who has a dog knows, a dog is someone who is full of heart. Kol lev, that means what? Kol lev, kalev. You see that even a simple thing like the name of a dog has hidden meanings in it in the Hebrew language. And that's why it is important to try and daven in Hebrew. I know that's difficult for people that haven't learned Hebrew, but really they should take the effort to learn Hebrew in order to be able to pray in Hebrew. However, having said that, the Mishnah Berurah writes that if you don't understand Hebrew and you want to daven in a different language so that you can understand what you're saying, then you're allowed to pray to Hashem in a different language. Hashem knows all the languages. That's not a problem by him. Whatever language you pray in, he will hear. But if you pray in a language other than Hebrew, other than Lashon HaKodesh, then you must understand exactly what you're saying in order for it to be effective. But in Hebrew, in the holy language, in Lashon HaKodesh, when you're praying to Hashem, even if you don't understand what you're saying, the message is going to get through and Hashem will hear and answer our prayers, B'ezrat Hashem. So that's what the Mishnah Berurah says here, that when you pray in Hebrew, doesn't make any difference whether you understand or whether you don't understand. The prayer gets through and the prayer is heard. But when you pray in a different language, then it has to be that you understand what you're saying. Now, having said that, nevertheless, Shema Yisrael, which is certainly an obligation of the Torah for us to say, that is something that, seeing as there are certain arguments about exactly how to translate it, we should especially be careful to say it in Hebrew. So, to summarize, and before I summarize, I'd like to slip in that the Khatam Sofer writes that even though in Chutz La'aretz, or people that don't understand Hebrew are able to pray in English or in French or in Spanish or whatever languages they want, they understand. Nevertheless, we shouldn't fix groups of people that are going to pray together in other languages other than Hebrew, because that can lead to forgetting of the Torah. It's something that he advises us not to do. So to summarize, it's best to pray in Hebrew because the message gets through whether you understand or whether you don't understand. In a foreign language, the message also gets through, but it only gets through if you understand. Or even Kriyat Shema you would be able to say in a foreign language, but because of the problem of translation, we try not to. Thank you.